Operations management. How to build a decision tree to solve a problem. In today's fast-paced world, when management needs to decide things like what objectives their company will follow, what assets they will employ, and who will do each essential task, feature selection plays a vital role in the planning. But first, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel to continue receiving great weekly videos on consulting. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get informed every time I publish a new video. A decision tree is a process flow used to represent the statement process by outlining possible options and their expected implications. It is a commonly utilized methodology for making essential choices such as project planning, cost planning, business management, manufacturing, and various other strategic challenges. A decision tree is a tool with a tree-like structure that predicts possible impact, resource cost, utility costs, and potential implications. Decision trees are a mechanism to provide conditional control assertions in algorithms. They have branches that indicate judgmental steps that could result in a positive outcome. Typically, decision trees are made up of three parts. The node at the top of the tree. The main objective or an important decision people seek to make is represented by this top-level node. Branches. The numerous choices action plans are available when choosing a highly preferred are represented by the branch that grows from the base. They are usually denoted by an arrowhead line and frequently included related expenditures as well as the chance of occurrence. Leaf node. Each attacks. Alternative consequences are represented by the tree structure, which is connected at the ends of the branches. Square leaf nodes signal the need for further selection, and circle leaf nodes representing a chance occurrence or undetermined consequence. How to complete the project using a decision tree. People now understand what a logistic regression is and why using one in their program management attempts can be valuable. Let's take a look at the steps people take to use a tree structure effectively. Steps. Users are generating a checklist of all the options people have. The first step is to make a list of all the possibilities available to people. There are various paths to fulfillment for every undertaking. Their first task is to identify each one so they can include it. They'll then choose their characteristics and make good selections. For example, an individual owns a fabric production facility in Los Angeles, California. Even though they've only been in business for a few years, they're rapidly expanding, and the individual has to make a bigger vendor to aspiration. The man recognizes two viable options: a US-based company, located just a few miles away from his factory, and an international provider. The user determines the area will have a complicated choice between them both. Estimate the probable outcomes of each decision. It's time to define the prospective consequences for each of your product alternatives now that they've been realized. Of course, this step isn't completely foolproof. People will have to make educated estimates and assumptions, some of which may turn out to be incorrect, but that's fine. The purpose of this step is to determine which alternative has the best chance of succeeding. The foreign seller, on the other hand, is far less expensive, and the person could put the savings towards improving other aspects of his firm. Again, however, there are drawbacks. Taking a look at your decision tree. Now it's time to assess the choice tree, in which people can figure out which option is most valuable to you. To begin, give each possible consequence a monetary value or rating. Next, calculate how much you believe it would have been worth to you if that result occurred. Next, assess the likelihood of each product by looking for each circle. If you're using percentage, each circle's sum must equal 100%. If you're using decimals, they'll have to total up to 1. If you have data on previous incidents, you may be able to create more accurate probabilistic predictions. If not, jot down your best guess. Calculating the decision node value. Write down the cost of each alternative along every selection line when analyzing a decision node. Then subtract the cost from the value you've already determined for the conclusion. It will provide people with a value representing the belief of making that choice. Note that quantities formerly spent are not included in this analysis. These are started to sink expenses that, despite emotional objections, should not be taken into account when making a decision. After people computed the choice benefits, they chose the option with the ultimate value and use it to decide. That decision node's deal is this: analyze each possible outcome thoroughly. It would help if people had a complete decision tree at this time, but the extra effort is only beginning. Now you must evaluate each possible outcome and determine which option is the greatest fit for your specific project. The expected value formula can be used when working with financial sums. The expected value is computed by adding a possible consequence by the probability of it occurring. Make your actions more efficient. Accordingly, this step is to fine-tune your activities. Then people can comfortably make the project selections after realizing which option had the best chance of success and the best value. For example, a person chooses a vendor US-based. The vendor not only had a greater value, but it also represented only $5,000 more in damages if the relationship failed, because a user can regularly visit the seller and speak the same language. These two factors made it a no-brainer for some people. Let's go over some of the key phrases and concepts utilized in the decision tree. Root component. A neural network compiles the entire sample before dividing it into numerous sets of homogeneous characteristics. Decision node. A choice cluster is a subnode that splits off into different paths, value or terminal node. A discount or terminal node is the final node that shows the outcome that cannot be further classified. The tree-based markers branch denotes the different possibilities accessible. Splitting. Splintering is the process of dividing a single viable option into various subs. Prune is the polar opposite of breaking because it enables a tree-based decision maker to eliminate one or even more comment threads from a conclusion. A paradigm for assessing intentional choices in a precise sequence, such as a decision tree, is a diagram representing the options being considered and the likely repercussions. Decision trees aid in the organization of a series of selections and the objective evaluation of alternatives. Decision tree analysis advantages. Every decision you make as a project manager brings with it new issues and hazards. The decision tree evaluation method allows you to be more equipped for any eventuality and makes the best judgments at each stage of your program. There are more benefits as well. Data mining techniques are straightforward to study and grasp. Each option and its associated conclusion flow logically into the next when properly ordered. Economy. Because trees display information in such a basic way, trees display can quickly analyze them, and trees can subsequently utilize the results to make important decisions. Adaptability. Decision trees are simple to modify to fit fresh concepts or possibilities. As a result, your tree will be able to grow with your initiatives. Sustainability. People can utilize the tree-based analysis methodology in conjunction with different development methodologies, giving people maximum flexibility in managing projects. Decision tree analysis drawbacks. Decision tree analysis has a wide range of applications. However, its application is limited due to the following flaws. Excess information isn't appropriate. It's not ideal for instances where the data for categorization is large because it's a semi-technique. Managing multiple outcomes is difficult. When each option has multiple alternative consequences, compiling them all on a feature selection becomes laborious. Segmentation errors. A novice classification tree creator is more likely to make mistakes while arranging variables into various classes. Impacts of variability. Even the tiniest adjustment might cause problems because it leads to a completely new decision tree. Inappropriate for content variables using a large list of available numerical variables raises the chance of making mistakes. Resistant to bias. A decision tree creator may place a greater focus on preferred factors, which may cause the analysis to veer off course. Costs considered. Gathering data, classifying it, and analyzing it is time-consuming and a source of the energy process. Key points. Because they spell out the issues so that all solutions may be contested, data mining techniques are an effective way of decision making. Provide a method for quantifying the importance of outcomes and their likelihood of being achieved. People can assist others in making the best judgments possible based on available data and the best assumptions. Like all decision-making methodologies, the decision tree model should be used in combination with rational thinking. Decision trees are only one tool in your making decisions toolbox. Using this technique, we can see that new product development is the best choice. Taking our time and getting the product perfect is far more valuable than rushing it to the marketplace. Even if it costs us less, it is preferable to enhance our present items rather than launch a new one. On paper, it depicts a critical decision dilemma with various outcomes. Furthermore, it allows the decision maker to consider all possibilities accessible to people, simplifying the work. If you like the video, give us a like to make more videos like this one, and tell us in the comment section below what type of videos you want. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more weekly videos.